Hey guys, happy Monday to you. Man, Mondays are great days, aren't they? Just coming out the weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. I have a question for you. If you're like me, you have people in your life who only really know how to be spectators. And what I mean by that is those people that are in your life who only really know how to lend a helping hand by telling you how they would have done something. Not really lending a helping hand, but just telling you how they would do something. I have people like that in my life. I have people like that, and I think of this story long ago, a few years ago while I was on tour. There was a guy, particularly a manager on tour, for this artist. I won't mention the artist's name, but he really only knew how to help by telling you what you're doing wrong or how he would have done something, and not really helping out. I remember one particular night we blew a tire and we're all out there helping, we're changing this tire, we're all helping in different ways, and the guy is in the bus still not really doing much, and then we get back in the bus and he goes on and on the rest of the night talking about how great of a mechanic he is and how he would have helped and he would have done it this way or that way. But in doing that, he wasn't really helping. Well, I want to tell you guys today that God doesn't call us to be spectators. In fact, God has very little use for spectators. And in talking about this whole idea of spectators, what God calls us to be is He calls us to be people that are all in, that are sold out for Jesus. And no one other than Jesus probably leaves behind a greater legacy of being all in other than the Apostle Paul, who said this, and this is one of my favorite passages. He said this in Galatians 2 verse 20. He says, "I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved Himself and gave Himself for me." I love this passage that Paul is so all in for Jesus that he says, "It's no longer my life, but I desire for Christ to have my life. I've been crucified with Christ." I just want to challenge you guys today and encourage you guys. May we not be spectators, because God has very little use for spectators, but may we be all in for Jesus. May we be people who are obedient for Jesus, just as Paul was. Have a great week, everybody.